It's time to talk about some amazing Sega Genesis homebrews. Well, most of them were amazing. You'll see what I mean. Starting with this game called Alter Ego. Now this one's kind of cool. You got your main character on the screen, and then you got like a ghost character on the other side, and you can kind of swap positions really quickly between the two. It's kind of neat. And as you can see, your ghost character is not affected by stairs, so he can go pretty much wherever he needs to go. Alright, I skipped ahead to level 8 here. And basically what you have to do is kind of fall off the side and then switch places real quick. Because there's some places you just can't quite get to. Wait for that guy to get out of my way. Oh, then we switch, and all I gotta do is just jump off the side there. There we go. Alright, this is kind of a weird game called Aratu and Karaka. I don't know, it kind of looks like a troll fighting skulls and stuff. I don't know, the graphics look pretty nice, kind of cartoony and everything. I mean, there's not much in the way of sounds, but the problem with this game is that there's just so many characters on the screen, so many enemies. It's very difficult to even move, let alone fight them all. Alright, this was called Beach Volleyball, and I had high hopes for this one because it starts out really good. Well, I mean, we're starting out in England, which is kind of weird instead of starting at a beach in a game called Beach Volleyball, but as you can see, the speed of the game is just too fast. And it could be, maybe this is a PAL ROM, I'm not sure. It could just be that fact that it's PAL. But here we go, now we're actually on a beach, which makes more sense. And this was the best volley that I got in the whole time I played it. I don't know, that character kind of looks like Alf. Alright, this game is called
Marrow.
And I'm not really sure what is going on here. It's kind of a puzzle game, I guess, where these like tiles kind of merge together if they're similar. I spent a while trying to figure out what the heck was going on here. Is it morning? Alright, now I'm fighting, I don't know, like a scarecrow maybe? It's kind of neat. If you just kind of move back and forth, they swing swords. But yeah, this is a game that didn't really make much sense to me. But then again, nothing does. Alright, here's a pretty well-known one called Coffee Crisis. And this was released on cartridge and sold. But I was able to get a copy of the demo. You can go on their website and sign up for a copy of the demo. It's not quite as tight as I thought it would be, based on some of the graphics that I've seen. It's just, it seems like the collision detection is not quite there. And these aliens get beamed up after you kill them. Fighting the boss character here. I don't know, it's pretty good, but overall I think I'd probably stick with Streets of Rage. And here's one called Dino Runner, which is a very, very basic game, using, what, Super Mario jump effect? All you have to do is jump over these cactuses. And my instinct is to want to move left and right, move forward and backwards, but you can't do that. All you can do is jump. Alright, here's an interesting one called Drunk As I Like. And it took me a little bit to figure out what's going on here, but basically in this game, you're shooting all the beer mugs. Well, those look like root beer mugs, honestly. But this game is a little bit like Robotron. And you gotta avoid pickles. I'm not sure what the deal is with the pickles, but you avoid those, eat the sushi, and avoid all these exploding ball things coming out of the pickles. Oh, here's the boss wave. It's almost like a bullet hell shooter right here. Just hit him a couple times and take him out, and then just keep on playing, and the game just seems to never end. But I don't know, I kind of like this game. Alright, here's one called Fight for Vengeance. Pretty much the only fighting game that I was able to find. And you got 6 characters to choose from. I chose Heiser, and apparently first guy that you fight is Heiser. A couple of special moves that I pulled off during this game, and I'm not even sure how I did it. Here's Shadow, the Shadow of the Ninja. Let's see how ninja you can get on me. Alright, here's the big bruiser, Titano. I love the way he kind of swings his huge body around there, it's funny. Alright, for some reason I'm fighting Heiser again, but the reason I decided to show this screen is because look at that background. It looks like Bruce Lee back there. That's pretty awesome. Alright, here's Rotika. And I don't know, she was kind of like a metal woman. But when I punched her, it looked like her metal skin came off. And here's Blazor. Kind of like a demon character. Kind of reminds me of the demon from Ultra Vortec. And then lastly, here's Metallo. I think this was the boss. But this guy took me apart. I pretty much walked through the other characters, but this guy just destroyed me. Alright, here's one of the best homebrews in this whole video, Final Fight MD, and I am so excited for this game to come out. This is not a Sega CD version of the game, this is a whole new coded game just for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. And, I don't know, it seems pretty darn accurate to the arcade. Aside from a few small differences, like the color depth isn't quite as good, and I don't think they can have as many characters on screen as in the arcade. There is a little bit of slowdown here and there, but it's not too bad. But the gameplay itself is great. The sounds are fantastic. The music's good. I mean, I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a homebrew game this fantastic. And as you can see, they have the right clothing for poison. I mean, this game is not going to censor anything like the Super Nintendo or the Sega CD version would. Stop blocking me, punk. And this guy is just as annoying as ever, but somehow I was able to get into this loop with him, grabbing the sword and punching him, and it was just a punch fest to see who could beat the other person up first. And then here we are beating up the car. This is great, I love this.
My God!
I love that part. And that's pretty much it. You don't get the whole game. Of course, the guy's still working on it, but I can't wait for this game to come out. Okay, here's Foxy Land. And this is just kind of your basic platform game with a fox running around, collecting gems. I thought maybe I could go in that door, but no, can't go in there. So I thought, well, maybe I'll go back and see if there's something I missed, maybe a key or something. And I can't quite get that last gem up there. So I thought, well, maybe I'll go back to the house and see if I can go in there, but I can't get in there. But anyway, it looks like a cool little game. Doesn't seem to be complete though. Okay, here's one called Gluf. And this is another one of these kind of puzzle action games. Seem to be a lot of homebrews that are doing this kind of thing. But in this one, you have to stand on these sections here and paint the platforms with the color. Kind of reminds me of Miner 2049er a little bit. But this one's got some cute graphics and some good music and sounds. And fast gameplay, which I'm very appreciative of. Once you color all the platforms, you just go into the door. I don't know, the stairs almost seem like slides. He goes up and down them so fast. Those enemies kind of look like, I don't know, kind of like Mr. Krabs a little bit. Oh, there's my password, 3326. Make sure you write that down. Alright, here's one called Gravibots. And I'm embarrassed to say I could not figure out what the heck I was supposed to do here. I got a little frustrated trying to smash the ceiling a little bit there, but I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. But I think maybe you have to pick up these little arrow things and maybe put them on the same vertical plane here, maybe? I don't know, I gave up. Here's one called Hover Tank X-Treme. Let me just show you how extreme this game is. Reminded me a little bit of Hover Strike on the Atari Jaguar, or maybe iWar on the Jaguar, except not in 3D. I mean, it's using a 3D isometric view, but that one was okay. It needs a lot of work. Okay, here's International Karate Plus, which is a fan favorite from the Commodore 64, and I think there was an Atari 8-bit and probably Atari ST and Amiga versions of this game, but I don't know, I couldn't get into it. I was hoping this would be more of a one-on-one fighting game, but fighting 4 guys at once, I don't know, maybe I set the wrong option. I kind of like this bonus screen though, that was pretty fun. And here we are just kind of doing our little fighting dance moves against each other here, I guess. Oh no. I feel like I'm in the band Dragon Sound or something here.
Irena, Genesis Metal Fury.
Alright, here's Irena, Genesis Metal Fury, which is a pretty good shooter game. I like the nice clean graphics. Fantastic voice work too. It's not often you get games on the Genesis where the voices are not garbled. But I guess nowadays people are a little more wary of having garbled graphics on the Genesis, because back then they didn't care. There's like, oh, we're gonna sell Street Fighter 2, it doesn't matter. Put in the garbled audio, it's okay. And here's the boss. Very obviously, you can't hit him when he's got his shield up there. I wasn't able to get him. Got some nice cutscenes too. Alright, here's one called Ivanhoe. I want to say this is an Atari ST/Amiga conversion. But I'm not crazy about the way the guy swings his sword. The animation is pretty whacked out, and the sounds and music are just grating to the ears. Even worse than my voice. Fortunately, the music just cut out there for some reason. I don't know why. The graphics are not too bad, if a little bland, and the color palette's a little bland. And the collision detection is awful. I couldn't say, look, I'm whacking this guy and I can't even do anything to him. It's like you can't hit him when you're standing on top of him. You can only hit him from the front or the back. Alright, here's one called Journey to Oblivion. And as you can see, this is another shooting game. Starting out by shooting asteroids. I guess everybody is a big fan of Trevor McFur and the Crescent Galaxy. Very clean graphics, and good sounds and good voice work on this one. There's been a lot of good homebrew shooters on the Genesis. Alright, here's a game called Mega Cubert, which obviously you can tell this is a Cubert clone. I like the speed of this game, it's really fun, and of course the graphics are good. He moves really, really fast, which is nice. Music is good, sound effects are good. Avoiding coily is good. I like the way the disc goes diagonally, unlike the some of the Atari 2600 versions. I like that there's different stages too, it's pretty cool. It's not just a pyramid every time. This is a crazy one, it's almost like a double pyramid and one on top of each other. And this stage is kind of interesting. You can't jump on those plus squares. I think that takes a life. But you can hop on this disc and it takes you to the other side. Oh! And then here's the classic Cubert. And I don't know if it's because it was the first stage, but he moves really slow in this one. Also, I think the status should be on the side instead of the top, because it kind of cuts the character off. But otherwise, this is a really good game. Okay, here's Metal Slug. I can't believe someone is working on a port of Metal Slug for the Genesis. Fortunately, I think I have unlimited lives because I was getting killed quite a lot. But the graphics are good. They're not quite as colorful as the Neo Geo version. And that helicopter isn't quite as animated as the Neo Geo. And it's pretty cool that you can get in these vehicles and shoot. Ooh, the tank has got some good animation on it. Just the helicopters, they don't animate at all. Take that, stupid plane. Oh, what is this weird claw-looking thing? I guess it's kind of a mid-boss, maybe? No animation on it yet, but imagine once the programmer's finished, it'll look amazing. And you gotta take out this boat here. I like dropping bombs on them as much as possible. I don't know, that explosion was kind of weak. It didn't have all the big orange fireball out of it like most explosions do. Like that one right there. And then I got to this part in the game and I couldn't get any further. But this is some kind of boss as well, but there's no way for me to damage it. Alright, here's another Metal Slug game. This one's called Metal Slug Warfare. And it's not a Metal Slug game like you would think, where you just travel left to right. Basically, in this version of Metal Slug, you go to the left, save a hostage, and then go to the right and save another hostage, and then go to the left and save another hostage. And basically, that's all you do, is you just go back and forth. This one does have a little bit more colorful graphics than the other Metal Slug game, and the animation is quite a bit better as well. So I feel like the programmer of this and the programmer of the other Metal Slug game ought to get together and make a really awesome Metal Slug game that would incorporate both styles. See, here's my hostage from the far left. Now I gotta go all the way back to the right and get another hostage. So the graphics and the sounds and the voices and the gameplay is pretty good, but I don't know, it just gets kind of monotonous going back and forth all the time. Alright, here's a game called Misplaced. As you can see, it's another kind of puzzle game, which seemed to be prolific in this sphere of homebrew games for the Genesis. In this one, you just gotta collect these little red dots and put them on the little platform things there, and then you collect the key. And it gets a little more complicated. You have to like create a path and walk across it. It's like you have to record the path and then play it back and then walk across it. It's kind of weird. I do like the kind of simple graphics, and the sounds are, you know, pretty appropriate for this game. Now this is a stage I couldn't quite figure out what I was supposed to do. Somehow I had to get around this big white block. Couldn't quite get there. Couldn't figure it out. Alright, here we go. Here's one called Old Towers. And this one's pretty simple. All you gotta do is zip around and collect all the coins. But this one's got some really fantastic music and some great graphics to go along with it. Honestly, that music is very addictive. It's an earworm. Now, somehow those two little ghost blocks have to come on. I think all you gotta do is just zip over them to get them to come on. And then you just jump into that exit there. Alright, I jumped ahead to level 9. And once you walk across those blocks, they disappear. Or touch the blocks, I guess. And kind of like that other game, you can switch between two characters. You kind of have to in order to get all the coins. I guess they're coins. Kind of look like Pac-Man dots, honestly. No! I figured out what I was supposed to do long after I played this round. Alright, here's the first in the series of Papi games called Papi Commando Deluxe. And it's pretty easy, you just kind of run around and just shoot all the bad guys. You have to shoot a certain number of bad guys in order to move on to the next stage. The graphics are not bad, they're kind of cartoony. Not super detailed, but not plain either. You have a stage select screen here. And this is a bonus stage. I think all you gotta do is go around and wake up all these guys. You kind of slap them and he says, "Wake up!" Or maybe saying, "Get up." I could get those two guys to get up. And in this stage you're supposed to destroy that truck. But these enemies are just prolific. They're everywhere. They won't get off me. Oh, I'm dead. Alright, here's the next game, Papi Commando Tennis. I'm normally pretty good at playing tennis video games, but this one, I don't know, the control was really weird. I couldn't get the ball to go where I wanted to. Because you're supposed to hold, you know, the joypad left or right to get it to go to a certain direction, but there's no way to tell how far over the ball's gonna go. And see, like that time I didn't even move the joystick at all. And that time I went too far, so it's hard to tell. Now my opponent's serving. Of course he's just gonna wipe the floor with me because I don't know what I'm doing here. Come on, that wasn't even in! That's another thing. When you look at the ball hitting the ground, it doesn't look like it's even in half the time. Like that looked like it was out. Alright, here's the third one, PapiRium, which is a kind of a take on PapiRium, which is a very expensive homebrew game that I can't even find the ROM for, but this is basically all you do is just kind of walk through the subway. Here's a game called Reknum, and I really like this game. This is fun. It's a little challenging because if you don't get the spears that these guys throw at you, they'll kill you pretty quick. But I like the style of this game, the graphics and the theme and everything, and the sound is good. Now there's a game on, I think the Sega Master System, I think it's called Ghost Manor, that I always thought was going to be like this, but it's not. I love the way that when you get these ogres or whatever, their head comes off. Alright, so you gotta hit the switch here, and then go back. I saved you quite a bit of watching me aimlessly figure out where I was supposed to go. Alright, here we are gonna fight the boss. I like this. This is building up tension. You can see that ghost in the background. Now here comes this giant ghost. It's attacking me. Spitting out little baby ghosts. Oh, I didn't last long, but I really, really like that game. Alright, here's one called Return to Genesis, which has really ear-grating music. I'm gonna have to turn it down. But I think this was an Atari ST and or Amiga game at one point that they've converted to the Genesis. And I think all you have to do is just collect the astronauts. I guess they're scientists, actually. But here's the next stage. And I didn't want to go too fast, because if you hit an obstacle, you bounce around. I'm sorry, I didn't really care for that game too much. Okay, here's one called Shrine Maiden Shizuka. And it's a fun little platformer game. I was worried about jumping on those bees. Here's what you do, is you have to find this point shoes weapon, and now you can attack the enemies. Kind of DuckTales style. Now we can go through these blocks and get to the next part of the game. Oh, we gotta fight this, looks like a Bayo. And here I am fighting the giant boss Bayo. I guess he didn't like that I took out that other one. Actually, it looks more like an onion. But this one's got some good cartoony graphics and sounds. I could see this ending up on a cartridge someday. Okay, here's a game called Sega Master System Brawl, and you would think it was on the Master System, but no, this is actually a Genesis game. And of course I had to choose Sonic as the first character I play as. I just beat Wang. And now Steve. Steve is tough. He destroyed Sonic pretty quickly. So then I tried as Tom Tom, and Steve beat Tom Tom pretty easily too, so maybe I should have played as Steve. Alright, here's Super Mario Bros. 2. Yeah, this one, it looks good, but the gameplay is just, ugh, it's not good at all. The jumping is really the big problem. It doesn't feel right. And you know, we've all played Super Mario Bros. A million times, so when something doesn't feel right, it's just glaringly obvious. It just, I don't know, it feels too fast. Again, maybe this is a PAL ROM and it's just sped up because I'm playing it on an NTSC. Yeah, I think it's probably better to just stick with the Super Nintendo version or the original NES version. Alright, here's Super Mario World, which is not anything like Super Mario World. It's nothing like that. I'm shooting fireballs like Hadokens. And you have to pick up boxes to attack. You can't jump on these guys, as I found out. And you don't collect coins, you collect gems. You can't smash the blocks. All you can do is just keep running, trying to avoid these guys. And if you collect that little green hand, I guess that's the fireball. But shouldn't it be like a fireball icon instead of a green hand? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Alright, here we are in the castle, Bowser's castle. The Bowser sprite looks pretty decent. And I really kind of like this boss battle. It's pretty clever, actually. So you just have to grab the boxes. And then when he comes down on this level here, you just, bam, throw a box at him. And you have to hit him like, I don't know, like 8 times before he'll finally go down. And there was number 8 right there. And then it just starts on the next stage. No congratulations, no whistle or nothing. Just, hey, you're on the next stage now. This game has its points, but again, I think I'd rather just play the original on the NES or Super Nintendo. Alright, here's a game called Tanglewood, and I swear I've seen this game before. Maybe it's on Steam? But it's got some really nice little animation. I like the Fox character, he's kind of cute. And you roll that ball into that light thing there and he turns into a yellow fox. I don't know what the difference is. And then I like seeing the color difference when he steps into the water. That's kind of neat. Anyway, it looks like a really interesting game. The graphics and sound is kind of mesmerizing, but I couldn't quite figure out what I was supposed to do here. Couldn't find the exit. Okay, here's a game called Tourmaline. Another kind of puzzle game. This one reminds me a lot of Boulder Dash, Dig Dug, and Bomberman. Kind of has all those characteristics. See, we can drop these rocks, and we can even drop them on enemies if I had one underneath me there. But you do have to collect all the gems. And I skipped ahead here to level 4. You can see we can blow these things up. We got little bombs. I thought maybe I could block that guy in there, but I couldn't get in after that, so I decided to just go hit him with a bomb. I thought it was better to just go ahead and bomb that section than try to risk getting hit by the rock. But then I died anyways. That's a pretty neat game, I like that one. Alright, here's one called Trouble Lotus. And it's kind of a simple shooting game. You have to shoot these guys a couple of times before they blow up. But you can see it turns into a bullet hell shooter. Especially when it comes to this boss. Look at all that, ugh. You gotta take these guys out before they start shooting bullet hells at you. Alright, here's another boss character. Looks like a majorette to me. Oof, look at all that. Jeez. Alright, here's a wacky one called Two Cyclopses. And the graphics are extremely simple. I mean, this could be an Atari 2600 game. But all you have to do is get to the flag. Of course, you gotta avoid the spikes and the angry floating faces. You gotta time this just right, get under there. Oh, couldn't quite make it over there, but you do have a little bit of health. I mean, you can get hit a couple times. Alright, here's one called Yazzie. Another kind of action puzzle game. This one reminds me a little bit of like Lode Runner. You just gotta go around and collect all the bouncing gold bricks, I guess is what they are. And you can drop down stages, but you can't go up. So on this one you gotta be careful and get all the bouncing bricks before you get those two at the bottom. There we go. But I like the graphic style. It's pretty cool. Music's good. And the gameplay's fast and nice. So this is a pretty good game. Especially if you like action puzzle games. Of course, rewatching this later, I realized what I'm supposed to do, but during the game I was confused. Alright, and last but not least is
XenoCrisis,
which is so incredible. I actually bought this ROM, and I have it on my Sega Genesis Mini, and I actually have it on the actual EverDrive as well. You can't get enough XenoCrisis. This game is so much fun. Graphics are incredible, music's incredible, sounds incredible. It's very clearly a Robotron-style game, twin-stick shooter. And I've only ever played this with a 6-button controller or a 3-button controller. I wonder what would happen if I had 2 when I played them. I wonder if I could do 2 at once. I've never tried it before. But yeah, you can get this game on cartridge. Here we go, fighting the boss here. Oh my gosh. This thing is a big blob of flesh. It's gross looking. I am playing on easy, so I was able to kill it fairly easy. I only lost like 3 lives killing it. And then it's got a ton of really great cutscenes. And a shop here where you can buy power-ups. You want to collect the dog tags to buy your power-ups with. Now this one was interesting to me because look at that red alien guy. He looks just like the alien from Aliens with the big banana-shaped head and everything. The other ones kind of do too, but they've got more fangs than the red-headed alien does. One thing you gotta keep track of is your ammunition. You don't want to run out. You can't just shoot forever. You gotta be a little bit judicious with it. Alright, here's Death Viper, another boss. And the only way to get this guy is to shoot him in the head. And I was trying to use my bombs on it, but I don't know, I think it was out of bombs. But I got pretty far just hitting him with the gun. Took forever to get halfway. I almost had him, but I don't think he hit me. I think I may have touched it. Oh! So yeah, that's XenoCrisis. An incredible, incredible game. I love it. I really should do a review on XenoCrisis just by itself. Anyway, that was some incredible homebrews. If you saw any of them in this video that you liked, let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.